and The Sun's deputy political editor, Ryan Saby. And Ryan, we're kicking off with the story about car finance, which is on a few of the front pages. There had been an anticipation it might be an even bigger story because there had been speculation that the Supreme Court ruling might find in favour of consumers, but it was only a partial victory for them, wasn't it?
That's right. There was the prospect of lenders having to pay out a massive £45 billion over sort of the mis-selling of car finance loans. But the Supreme Court actually came out in favour of the lenders and the banks. They won't actually have to make those massive payments. But where there's been excessive mis-selling and sort of high interest rates, it looks like there will still be some compensation, and the Financial Conduct Authority will actually make a statement early on Monday about that redress system. So there will be some compensation, but it just won't be the extent of what we expect. And I think that's huge relief to the banks and also Rachel Reeves, who thought about having to step in and actually pass retrospective legislation to actually limit the damage, the financial damage for those banks. So there'll be sigh of relief this weekend across the financial sector.
Yeah, and she was worried about the impact it could potentially have on growth, which is their kind of big mission to try and boost growth in the country, isn't it? And Zoe, there's a story related to that in The Times, which is all about Heathrow expansion, because Heathrow Airport themselves put forward their plans to build a third runway yesterday.
Yeah, so this is a potential showdown between the Chancellor and the London Mayor, Sadiq Khan. Khan has threatened a possibility of a legal challenge for the plans for a third runway at Heathrow because he thinks they might be in breach of the UN's climate targets, and he says he's not sure, despite Rachel Reeves's assertions that the runway could be built without a huge environmental impact. But Rachel Reeves has just vowed to face this down. She maintains that this is really important for the UK's growth ambitions. Keir Starmer is keen to push ahead, and as you say, Heathrow bosses have submitted plans to allow 276,000 more flights. So we could see the two go head-to-head, which would be very difficult for Labour. And overall, this actually does show you part of the fight within the Labour Party over their environmental green net zero obligations and this ever-growing push for growth.
How much attention do you think that is in the government?
Yeah, massive. I think the trouble is you've got a lot of people in government who just see growth as the main agenda. Then, within government and within the Labour Party, you've got that cohort of Labour MPs and Labour supporters who just think about the cost to the environment. Now, we've seen these plans for Heathrow brought up time and time again, going back 20, 30 years or so. So it'll be interesting to see whether how quickly they can progress with this, or whether even Labour Party will still be in office by the time this runway is actually built.
Well, I think they're talking about 10 years or something.
It'll take a long time
to be completed, because you've got to expand the terminals as well because of the extra people that it'll involve. Let's move on to more frivolous subjects, although perhaps...
Some may say.
Well, I say some may say. Talk us through it, Zoe. This is about Sex and the City and the spin-off.
So Just Like That, which is the Sex and the City spin-off series, is going to end after its current season. So the news was announced by the showrunner, Michael Patrick King. He told fans it was a great gratitude. We thank all viewers who have let these characters into their home and hearts over these many years. And obviously this was a spin-off from Sex and the City, so it had Sarah Jessica Parker in there as Carrie. She has written on Instagram, I believe, saying how much she loved the characters and how much she loved the fans. And it is a bit of an end of an era. It's one of those iconic shows that people still talk about to this day.
You look slightly broken yourself.
I maybe have seen the films, maybe not the series, but I keep being told you're a big fan. I keep being told I should. Obviously, I know the cultural impact of Sex and the City. I think it was massive, and I've seen many clips of Carrie Bradshaw, so I can empathise.
Ryan, you're the big fan then, are you?
I've actually got the box set sitting on a shelf in my house. I bought it for my wife, but I haven't actually seen it myself, but perhaps I should.
Yeah, I've watched quite a few, but mainly because my daughter has it on permanently, wall to wall. And some cracking clothes, as you say, from Carrie Bradshaw. We've got a minute. Let's deal with the Star's front page, shall we? Because their headline is "The Man with the Golden Brum," and explain why.
Yeah, no, it looks like Stephen Knight, who wrote Peaky Blinders, which is set in the Midlands, he's going to be the new writer of the new James Bond film. He did an interview on the back of this and said it was on his bucket list of things to do in his life. But he doesn't give away I think, probably the biggest secret, which is who's actually going to play the next James Bond. Now, I'm not sure whether he didn't know or he wasn't saying, but I think we'll watch that one.
I just think that secret is kept very, very closely, isn't it? I mean, maybe they haven't even decided.
I'm not even sure the next James Bond knows he's the next James Bond, but I think that is something that will be very, very exciting to find out.
Indeed, and you'll hear it first here. Actually, you may not. I don't know, but let's hope so. Really good to have your company, both of you, this morning. Thanks very much indeed for taking us through the papers as ever. See you again soon, and stay tuned for the top stories.
Our app gives you the very best of Sky News wherever you are. Breaking news, videos and analysis.
Evidence of the crisis.
Podcasts, watching us live.
Live here from Washington.
Wherever you get your podcast.
All in one place. And all at just the touch of a screen. The Sky News app. Get the full story first.